Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited, so excited for today's video. For today's video, we're going to be doing a first impressions, and then a little bit later I'm going to film a full review of the Nikkie Tutorials X Beauty Bay palette. Oh my god. I cannot explain my excitement. I love Nikkie Tutorials. She is absolutely stunning and amazing and so talented and so kind and supportive, and she's amazing. And so I originally wasn't gonna buy this palette, and then all of a sudden I was on the Beauty Bay website, and then I kind of blacked out, and then I got a confirmation email, and here we are. No, in all seriousness, I didn't get on the website right at launch, and then just later in the day I was like, I kind of really do want this palette, and so I was able to get my hands on it, as well as be one of the people to get a pop socket, which fun fact, I've never owned a pop socket before, so first time for everything, I guess. Really quick, welcome to my new setup. This is my new room at university. I am in my senior year, if you didn't already know. Also, if you're new, hi, my name is Kelsey. I do a lot of beauty and makeup and beauty related videos, and then every once in a while I'll throw in a nice college lifestyle video in there for you. But I'm so excited. It is 9 a.m. so I don't know how many of my roommates are awake. I know at least one of them is because we did an early workout this morning, but I don't know about the other ones. So if I'm talking a little quiet, that's why. But let's just go ahead and unbox it. So right off the bat, I did not get one of the signed ones, which I think there was only like 10% of them that were signed, so it's not surprising, but still kind of hoping for one. Comes all nicely wrapped in foam, love that. On the back it says, on the back of the box I guess I should say, it says, "Hello guys, it's me, Nikkie. Hello." I am beyond excited for you to finally see this, my palette in collaboration with Beauty Bay. I am so grateful for this opportunity, and this time we're doing it right for everybody. This palette truly showcases my life and personality. You guys know that I'm all about bright and unique makeup looks, but this palette also shows a different, darker side of me. I can't wait to see the looks you'll create, from dark and mysterious to bold and uniquely you. This palette is my safe place, my temple tutorials, hello. And this would have never happened without the support of my glow babies. I love you. So I love the box. I think it's super cute. It's black with a lot of shimmer in it. We have this guy right here, which is a card that shows all of the shade names on it and how best to apply it. So if it has a little finger, you can apply it with your finger. If it has a brush, you can apply it with a brush. Some of them have both. And okay, I'm so excited. Oh my god, I literally went to my nail office this morning to pick it up right at 9 a.m. when they opened. So this is what the packaging looks like. So she wanted to showcase her personality and, you know, the light, bright, colorful side that we see of her on YouTube all the time, and her darker inner demons that she battles with every day, and also her love of horror and that type of thing. So I really love that. I respect that. I think it's so cool. Okay, I'm ready. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Okay, fun fact, I've never tried the Beauty Bay formula. It's a formula that I've been wanting to try for a while, and so when I heard that she was coming out with a Beauty Bay palette, I was really excited because, you know, that was my opportunity. So, this is what the palette looks like in all of its glory. Oh, it's so beautiful. I know it's not really in focus for you guys right now. And of course my window is open, so there's a bit of exposure in the back. I'm sorry. But this right here, on this mirror on this side, this is a regular mirror, and the one on the darker side here, I believe, is a 5x zoom. First impressions. Oh, also the temple that's on the front of the packaging is a little bit like sticky, like it's textured. Just something to note. It's, oh my god, these metallics, these shimmers just look so beautiful. Like, just look, you can't even see those shimmers. It's totally, oh my god, they are like melting my heart a little bit. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm gonna swatch all of these for you. I'm gonna swatch row by row, and then we'll kind of go over them. And then I'm gonna do a look and do like a first impressions, and then like I said, I'll come back in probably a few days after using this palette and kind of give you my final thoughts. But I'm going to start by swatching all of them, and I will insert photos of those swatches right here and kind of talk about them and figure out which ones swatched better versus didn't swatch better, that type of thing. So I'll go ahead and insert those right now. Those shimmers, are so glittery. Okay, so there's still glitter all over my hand. You can't see that at all with the exposure, but I am covered in glitter. So I don't know how much of that is from my makeup eraser needing to be washed, and how much of that is just how much shine and shimmer is in these shimmers, but there's a lot. I can see it. Especially that color All In, which was in the third photo. Nuts. I think this bottom row here, which is Pride, Zomer, Mama Tutorials, Amsterdam, and Mr. Tutorials, I think that's my favorite row out of all of them. But these are so beautiful. I don't even know where to begin. Like, I don't even know what type of look to do because I'm just, I'm shook a little bit. I'm just so shook I can't even, like, I can't even function. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, well, let's go ahead and prime our eyes first, because what does Nikki say? Not to prime is a crime. Freaking okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't she used to say, like, it's time to Optimus Prime? I liked that. My little nerdy self just loved that. Okay, alright. So I'm going to set the primer really quickly. I'm going to use a Blink Brushes E5, and I'm going to set that with, alright, this is Dutch, so I'm going to pronounce it wrong. Basic Trot, which is Dutch for basic bitch, which, love that. So I'm just going to set my primer, and this is a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it also will just cover up some veins and everything like that. I think it's a really, really nice setting shade, especially given that if you guys have been following my Instagram and other vlogs and stuff like that, you'll know that I'm having issues with my shadows not creasing because of how hot it is. So I'm hoping that by setting this down, maybe we'll be able to, you know, not lose our shadow. Although it doesn't help that I'm working in a hot kitchen 5 days a week. Right. Alright, let's open up our close-up mirror. Perfect. And by close-up mirror, I just mean the mirror that I'm keeping down here. I love the like slightly pink tone that this color has. Very pretty. Okay. Where to begin? I think we're gonna go a little bit more pink toned today. And we're gonna start by buffing Zomer, which is right here. Sorry, right here. Which is the Dutch word for summer. And that's gonna go in my crease. I'm gonna use the Luxie 250. It blends really smoothly. Its colors go on so nicely, and they have a lot of pigmentation to them. Again, I don't know how much you guys can see that just based on the exposure that's behind me, but it looks really sad and depressing in here if I don't have my window open. I'm sorry. See if I can figure out a better lighting situation. It's just so soft and gentle. It's like a peachy coral tone. How should I describe it? A peachy pink matte. So pretty. Just kind of warms up the crease and adds a little bit of depth, which is really nice because, of course, you know, it's crease, you want depth. I'm just buffing this in circular motions with this brush. I'm not trying to be super clean. Okay. I think we've got a nice layer of that on. Do we look even? Yes, we do. Just about. Okay. So now, I think I'm gonna go in with Blend and Snap, which is this pink right here in the top row. I'm going to take that with a Moda BMX 430 crease brush. Oh, brushy pink. These colors just go on so easily. The pigmentation is insane. That's crazy. That's so pretty. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now I'm going to go in. Actually, I'm going to go in and buff that out. So I'm just going to take this far fluffy blending brush, make sure to get all of the color off of it. I'm just going to buff that out. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a color here called Nikkie, which is named after her little brother that passed away a few years ago. His favorite color was red, so I'm going to put that on the outer half of my crease and outer corner. I feel like this one is going on a little bit more subtle, but it really is a beautiful true red into it. Now, as I'm blending it out, it is fading into a pink a little bit, so that's why I'm really taking my time and building it up. Okay, so this is what we're looking like as of right now. At least, maybe it's just because I already had a pink in my crease, but the color Nikkie is not, it's like stamping on like a red, and then as soon as I start to buff it out and blend it out, it definitely goes more pink. So I'm gonna have to play around with that color and see if that is just how it blends, or if that's just because I already had pink in my crease and so it just kind of started fusing with that pink. So I'll play around with that for sure. But now I'm going to go in with Nikkie's favorite color in the palette. I'm going to use this color down here called Pride. It is a gorgeous metallic pink. And I'm going to put that on the inner half of my lid. I'm not cutting my crease or anything. I want this to be pretty gentle, which, you know, goes against just about everything Nikkie Tutorials ever does. She always goes bold and colorful and creative. But I'm going to take my unspin on it. Oh, wow. That reflux on this color is just wow. Wow. That is so pretty. I see why this is her favorite, not only because it represents her in her fullest, but also it's just very pretty to look at. Wow. Also, that was with like one swipe, like one full circle in the pan. So, talk about pigmentation. I'm definitely finding the metallics go on better with a finger and the mattes go on with a brush as opposed to a finger. The swatches, if you could tell, the swatches of the mattes were not all that impressive, but that's because I did it with my finger, and pretty much every single matte on this sheet says that it should be applied with brush, and I'm definitely finding that to be true. This color is just so pretty. And it ties in perfectly with the look. Okay, so in this little transition area, I'm gonna put a little bit of Roxy Catan, which is like a corally pink. That right at the end there. It's just gonna help us transition to the outer corner. I'm also finding that the metallics are blending together really nicely. You don't have to do a lot of like back and forth to get the blend that you want. They're kind of blending together really seamlessly. At least these two are. Okay, so now that I'm cleaning my hands off, I'm going to go in with the Blinked Brushes E7. I'm going to clean it off. And on the outer corner, I'm going to go in with a combination of Slasher and Nikkie. See if we can deepen that corner up a little bit. Oh my, oh, yes. Wow. I just tapped that so lightly. And I don't want this to go in my crease. I really just want it to sit on that outer corner. Perfect. I like how much depth that added. I'm like barely tapping it and it's giving me pigmentation. Like, that's amazing. I definitely been sleeping on Beauty Bay's formula, and now that I know better, that won't be happening anymore. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up this and put on some winged liner, and then we will come back and do the lower lash line, where we're going to get into some of those blues, because you guys know me, I like to do a contrasting lower lash line. I'm weird, what can I say? So I will be right back. Okay, so I did just decide to finish off the look, and I decided to also keep it in the same color scheme as my eye. I decided not to do a contrast. So I put Slasher on the outer corner, Nikkie in the middle, and Blend and Snap in the inner corner, and just kind of blended those out and together to create this beautiful under eye. I put some white eyeliner in my lower lash line, and I put some of Ivy in the center of my lid, in my tear duct, and as well as on my brow bone, and some eyeliner and mascara, of course. And then I decided to keep it a little more nudie pink with this lip color right here. First impressions, these colors are so pigmented and so blendable. Again, the only one as of right now I'm a little sketchy about is Nikkie. I really want that to be a true red, so I just need to keep playing around with it and see if I can really get it to that point. And Ivy, which is that like glittery white shade, it's a little more glitter than I was expecting. I was expecting to be more of like a white base with glimmer in it, but it's almost like straight chunky glitter. Not quite a pressed glitter, but almost. So again, another one I gotta keep playing around with. But overall, so far, I'm really impressed, and I'm so excited to keep playing with it. I think I'm gonna do something like blue with brown tone tomorrow, and try and use as many colors from this palette in the next few days as I can, so I can really give you guys a final review. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and go, and we will jump to the review. Alright everybody, it is about 2 weeks later since I first opened my Beauty Bay and Nikkie Tutorials palette, and I definitely have some thoughts. I've been using this almost every day for the past 2 weeks. A few exceptions, of course, because, you know, I also did get some other stuff in the mail. I got a palette in BoxyCharm. I think there was another palette that I got somewhat recent. So, like, I've been spreading the wealth around, of course, but I have definitely been trying this, and I have my little review sheet here so that I can really give you guys as many notes as I honestly had, and I don't just have a brain fart during the review, because I feel like that happens in every single one of my reviews. That's just who I am. It'd be like that. So I'm going to start with the overall grade, and then I will explain why I gave it that grade. If you are wondering, I definitely have the palette on my eyes today. I have the colors, let me go over them. I have the color Zomer, I have Blend and Snap, I have Nikkie, I have Basic Truth, which I've been using to set my lids all the time for my eyeshadow primer. That's what I've been using that for. And I have the color Pride and the color Aura on my lids. So those are what I have on today, and I just so excited. So the overall grade that I gave this palette was an A. Not an A+, not an A-, just, you know, straight A. And I definitely think that this is worth the price for sure. The price of this guy was, I believe, $38 if I remember correctly, or like $35, and then it was $38 plus shipping or something like that. Overall, definitely worth the price. And if you weren't able to get your hands on this during the first launch, she is having one more launch. Beauty Bay and Nikkie are having one more launch, and then when they are gone, they're gone. So if you don't already have this palette, I would really recommend it. So let's go over the packaging and then the pigments and shadows themselves, and that's kind of where all my thoughts came from. So the packaging, of course, is incredibly colorful and incredibly creative. Just the amount of detail that went into this is absolutely insane. It's so bright over here, but then so dark over here, and there's just so much detail. The little wolf and the cemetery, makeup shamer graves over here. It's so amazing, and it continues on the back as well. I put the shadow list on the back, so that's just, you know, helps me remember how these colors are like described by her specifically, and also how they more or less should be applied. So that's why I have that there. It's relatively thin, so it's really easy for travel, which is really, really good. You can just slide this into your suitcase. I always put my makeup in between like some shirts and some pajama pants, stuff that will help cushion it along the long car ride or plane flight, whatever works. So that's where I put it, and it goes really, really easily. I really like the mirrors. I like the regular mirror, and then the one that's over here, which is the magnifying mirror. But the one thing that I will say is that because this opens on both sides, it does take up a lot of space. So for me, I do my makeup here where I'm filming, which is my desk. I have like a little TV table here, which, you know, is holding my monitor and holds some of my makeup, but primarily I do it here. And it takes up a lot of space that way, unfortunately. So that is something I'm a little like about. I kind of wish that it was just a flip open mirror, or like a flip open cap packaging, whatever. You know what I mean. I wish it flipped open like that, and then there were just two separate mirrors on that flap instead of opening out to the side. That's just me though. I just think that they would be easier to kind of like fold underneath the palette and conserve space if they were like that. As for the pigments and the shadows, if you don't remember what the palette looks like, this is what it looks like. So pretty. I think that the color range is really, really good. I think you have just about every color of the rainbow represented here, which I kind of think is pretty important, and I feel like it really represents Nikkie and all that she stands for, and I think that's really important. So I love that. But then there's also like some off colors, like the pink and the light blue as opposed to the dark. There's some like off rainbow but still rainbow colors in here. There's the brown, so you can do a neutral look or you can keep it colorful. There's just a lot of options here. I think it's laid out really nicely. I know some people had a complaint that like this dark side wasn't necessarily like super dark, and they're not wrong. This color and this color specifically, the color Mila and the color Ew, they definitely are a little bright to be on the dark side, but overall, I think that the light side is a lot lighter than the dark side. So I think it was laid out nicely, and I think got the point across that she wanted to get across. Most of the shadows are incredibly, incredibly pigmented. You just need a little bit on your brush, and a little goes a long way. And it also blends out really, really nicely, which is amazing. The only colors that I'm really having like a issue with, this one, I wish it was just a little bit, sorry, this is the color Vla. This is the pastel yellow here. I wish it was a little bit more pure yellow, but that's just personal preference. It's very buildable, and you can definitely get a yellow like look going, but I just wish it was a little more pure. That's just personal preference though. And then this color here called Plot Twist, which is that light blue. I know a lot of people aren't super impressed by this shadow, and I'm kind of with them, where like I think it is a really good blending shadow, especially for the color Amsterdam, which is that dark blue. I think those two work together really nicely, but overall, because Amsterdam is really kind of the only shade, other than maybe Ew, that Plot Twist really works with, out of all the shadows, I feel like it's kind of a dud. And then the shade Ivy up here, I just find it to be a little too chunky for me. I tend to like my shimmers, because I use this as an inner corner and brow bone highlight. I find it just a little bit chunky to where if I'm not careful with it, it will just kind of get everywhere. So I tend to like more of a satin shimmer, as opposed to a like almost pressed glitter. Almost. It's a Super Shock shadow, but a little chunkier. If for those of you that know ColourPop, it's to me a Super Shock shadow, but chunkier. But these metallics are so pretty. They are, I mean, I'm wearing two of them today. Like I said, I'm wearing Pride and then Aura, and they go on so smoothly. I definitely recommend putting them on with your finger, because they will not get the same pigmentation and the same wet, powerful, bright look if you use a brush. You can use a brush, and if you're going for a little more of a subtle metallic or a subtle shimmer, that's the way to go. But if you want something that's incredibly bright and in your face, I would definitely go for using your finger. But they are just so beautiful. I cannot decide which one is my favorite. I actually really think that I'm leaning towards Mr. Tutorials, which is this like beautiful hazel shade down at the bottom. I think it's absolutely stunning, and it's perfect for fall. It's like a hazel olive color, and it's just gorgeous. I really have been enjoying using that one. But they're all really pretty, and I can understand why Pride is her and a lot of people's favorite shadow from this palette, because it's so bright and wet looking and just really eye-catching. And I really think the names are fun. I love the fact that she included some of her Dutch language in here. I think that's really fun, and again, stays true to her. But also there's some really cute, just normal things in here. Blend and Snap, freaking love that. It's perfect. Legally Blonde, I'm all in. Like I said, Mr. Tutorials and Mama Tutorials, I love the fact that she had ones in here for her family. And every single one of these colors has a story. I also really like the fact that Basic Shoot stands for Basic Bitch. Love it. Normally I do not say that on my channel, but you know, in case you didn't know, Basic Shoot is Basic Bitch. And I really love that. I think that's so much fun, and her personality really comes across in this palette. So yeah, overall, I just think this palette is really good, and if you don't have it already, you definitely need it in this next launch, because once it's gone, it is gone, and I think you're going to be really missing out. And I also think that because of this, I'm probably going to be looking more into Beauty Bay's formula, because Beauty Bay is a UK-based brand. It's a little harder for me to get here, like the shipping takes longer and everything like that, since I am in the US, but I think the formula is really good and blendable, and I will definitely be looking into it for sure. So thank you so much for watching my review today. Like I said, definitely get your hands on this, and I'm sure I will be doing tutorials with this coming very soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I love you guys very much, and I'll see you soon. Bye everybody.